And the title of this panel session is Journey to Becoming a Voice of Influence. We're going to be having two speakers and then a moderator. The moderator is Miss Chizoba Kama. She's an environmental scientist, a sustainability advocate who loves being in spaces that help people grow. She's passionate about encouraging young people to recognize and leverage opportunities to become the best version of themselves. And so, with virtual round of applause, let us make welcome the moderator of this session, Miss Chizoba Kama.
Thank you so much, Chidima. Thank you so much, Dr. Ore. Thank you, everyone. I hope you can hear me, please. If you can hear me, please put it in the comment section so that I know that I'm not talking to myself. Can you hear me, please? Thank you so much, everyone. Good afternoon. Like Chidima said, my name is Chizoba Kama, and I'm honored to moderate the first fireside chat today. And this is the first Rise Up conference. So you're honored. You're also honored to be here today. So congratulations for being part of this conference. Thank you so much. Okay, thank you. You can hear me. Thank you. So today we'll be joined by two phenomenal young women, but we'll be starting with one person right now. We'll be starting with Pauline Gartor, and she'll be speaking to us from Uganda, although she's from Liberia. And she's someone who represents what this conference is all about. She's someone who is rising with purpose. She's someone who's leading true values, and she's someone who uses her personal story to drive impact. So let's all encourage her. Let's all welcome her by putting up, our fire chat emojis, putting up our dance emojis, putting up, our comments to welcome Pauline Gartor. Welcome, man. Welcome. We're so glad to have you here with us. Thank you so much. Thank you.
Wow, thank you so much. I'm hearing you. Can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you.
Thank you so much. I feel so privileged today being in the room with thousands of brilliant minds from around the world and amazing speakers. I'm so much inspired, and I want to say thank you for granting me such an opportunity. I feel privileged being here today.
Thank you. You're welcome. So I'll just read Pauline's bio before we start up with the fireside chat. So Pauline, hailing from Liberia, is a committed global champion of gender equality, youth leadership, and sexual and reproductive health and rights. As she's the visionary founder of the Girls Health Alliance, she empowers young people, especially girls, to reclaim agency over their bodies. And she engages in decision-making and advocates for their rights while combating gender-based violence and harmful cultural norms. She's also driven by an unwavering passion for gender justice and youth leadership. Her impact is felt across borders. She was the chairperson of Liberia's National Children and Youth Advisory Board from 2017 to 2020, where she ensured the protection and participation of youth and children in national issues, leaving a lasting legacy. So, Pauline, we say thank you. And regionally, she serves as the co-chair of the Mano River Youth Network, where she champions human rights, gender justice, and child protection in Guinea, Sierra Leone, and Liberia. On a global scale, she advances her mission through roles as a Women Deliver Young Leader and a UN Women Youth Activist, driving advocacy strategies. Thank you so much, Pauline. You're doing great things, not just in Africa, but globally, and we can't wait to hear from you. Thank you so much, and welcome once more.
Thank you. You have now put me on the spotlight, and I know the audience is just like, I'm waiting to hear so much from her, but I'm also here to learn from you as well. So I'm reading your comments. Thank you. So let them keep your comments coming. Yeah, I'm here to read them as well. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Yes, please keep your comments coming up in the comment section. Always write down your vision, write down anything. Once you write it down, you would not forget it. So write it down and post, reach out to your friends and remind them that the conference has started. Thank you so much. So Pauline, we'll be going to our fireside chat. And the first question I'd like to ask is, so can you share with us one moment in your early years where you realized that your voice mattered? So where you realized that someone was listening to you, where you realized that someone was learning, and not just learning, but also taking action, because of you. So can you just share one moment from your early years? Thank you.
Thank you. There have been several moments, and right now I'm just thinking and like, which one can I share? But I like to go back to 2019 when I was invited out to attend the Global Youth Meetup in the Netherlands. That event was organized by Plan International and Defense for Children, sponsored by the Dutch government, to attend as a youth leader or as a youth activist. Are being selected from among thousands of young people from around the globe, including my home country, Liberia, a frame that I am a critical voice, a frame that at that time I was a young leader with so much influence, and I had and my voice was centered mainly on youth inclusion, youth leadership, and youth participation. But what even made the experience more amazing was that I was selected to speak in the Dutch parliament along with 4 other young people. And when I was speaking, I saw the politicians with their pens and actively listening, but at the same time, they were taking notes. And then I realized that my voice were making impact in that room. And additionally to that, after that event, in about 5 to 6 countries, the grant was renewed. That project was the Girls Advocacy Alliance project. And I sat in that room speaking out not only for my country, Liberia, but speaking for young people across the globe. And my conversation at the time was centered around youth inclusion. Most often, young people, we are making so much contribution when it comes to in the economic sectors, in the health sectors, but most often we are left out of those conversations. And I saw that when I left that meeting after 1 month and heard that all the grant was anew, creating more opportunities for thousands of other young people to benefit from that programs, I knew that yes, I am doing something great and I should keep doing it. I felt inspired. I know sometimes as a young person, as a young activist, you try to speak out, you are doing so much, but you feel that people are not listening to you. Sometimes you feel like people are not listening to you, but gradually you will begin to see the impact around you. And that day, my moment in the Netherlands, in the Dutch parliament, I felt it. And it's one thing that kept me going. So it was an inspiring moment for me.
Okay, thank you so much, Pauline. Thank you. You would feel that people are not listening to you, but truly they are. And your words are impactful, no matter how small, no matter how big, they are impactful. So I can imagine how you felt when you saw the politicians, writing down notes, people who were older than you, people who were more experienced than you, writing down things and, trying to see how they would implement those things in their community. So well done. And thank you, because you're also inspiring us today. So from the comment section, people are asking how they can connect with you. So before we move on to the next question, maybe you can put up your social media handles so that people can connect with you, your Facebook, your Instagram, your LinkedIn handles. Please just share it with us right now.
I think my name is written on the screen, just like that, Pauline Gartor. So you can check me out on LinkedIn, on Facebook, on Instagram, on Twitter, and let's connect.
Thank you so much. Thank you. We appreciate it. So we'll move on to the next question. So the second question is, what does influence mean to you? And how has your definition changed over time? So I'm sure at the beginning, when you started being a change maker, your definition of influence was probably something minute. But now that you've done so much in your community and even globally, your definition of influence has changed. So please, can you share with us? Thank you.
And actually, before becoming a youth activist, because youth activism is something I started when I was in high school. So I started when I was 13 years old. But I felt back then, before joining activism, I felt that being a voice of influence is just about being popular, about people knowing you, about having so many followers. And like, if you are working everywhere, then people are just calling you or speaking to you. But as I grew up in my field, as I keep growing, I get to realize that real influence is about impacting communities. It's about changing lives. But as I keep growing, and then I also come to realize at this junction of my life that influence is also about positively affecting the people around you. It might be in a simple way, but in a powerful way. I know most often as leaders, as young leaders, we go out there in the global village, in the world, inspiring people, but we forget our friends, we forget our brothers and sisters, we forget the people closer to us. I also see influences about affecting them positively. It would be your friend who say, I started this master program because I was influenced by Pauline, you know, or I got this job because I was influenced by my friend. She guided me on how to write my CV. She coached me. She gave me career counseling. I consider that to also be influence. It is something I take into account very seriously. Impacting the lives of people around us and impacting communities. I really wish that as we end this 2-day conference from so much experience, especially from the beginning of the conference, you listen to the CEO of the Healthy African Girl, the work that they are doing or how they are changing lives. And she mentioned something about entrepreneurship. I really hope that you will leave with a difference and you will go out there to shine in your communities and you will make huge impact. When it comes to making impact, when it comes to influence, it's not about reaching thousands of people, or it's not about having the money. You can start small and you can make the difference. That's why I take influence to be right now on my journey. Thank you.
Okay, thank you so much. Thank you. So Pauline said for her at the beginning, influence meant, having high number of followers, having, a high reach of people. But now influence is all about inspiring the people around you, So sometimes people will think, oh, they're inspiring people globally and they're not inspiring people in their community. No, that's not influence. So influence has to start from where you are and then go out globally. Thank you so much. And it's also about raising other people around you. By what you do, you're able to encourage people to start up something, no matter how small. Just go out there and start. One thing I always tell people is start from your household, start from your family. It doesn't matter how small, but just start there. Thank you so much. We've been blessed. Someone even said in the comment section that this conference is for me, and I can say it is actually for every one of us. Even for those who would watch later, it will be for everyone. Thank you so much, Pauline. Thank you. So we'll move on to another section of the questions, and so it is about values and personal leadership. And the question says, leadership without a title can feel overwhelming. So what core values have kept you grounded as you lead? What core values have kept you grounded?
Oh, thank you so much for this question, because as I move throughout my leadership journey, my academic and professional journey, core values are things I take very seriously. I don't joke with it. And these are the things that will help you to set real life boundaries. I see it like as my guideline for where I want to be. And one of my core values I would like to share is teamwork. I really believe in teamwork. I believe that no one, I stand to be corrected, but no one will achieve success alone. I mean, you have to do it together. I believe in teamwork so much. And I'm so proud of my journey. I'm here today not because I Pauline did it alone. I'm here today because I have friends, I have mentors, I have people who, they have invested in me and continue to invest in me. So Teamwork is critical. I will take you back when we started the Girls of Alliance in 2019. I never had money. You will see Pauline is the founder of the Girls of Alliance. Yes, I'm one of the founder, but we have many co-founders and other people who supported our dreams. And even I have a colleague, I also consider her as a sister, Damaris, who's attending this conference. When we started Girls of Alliance, and I told her, Damaris and other young people, that I have a dream. My only responsibility was to share that dream. And after sharing that dream, we started to work together. And today we are impacting so many people across Liberia, and even across the globe. So teamwork for me is very, very critical. Another one I would like to share is transparency. I know that sometimes it's hard to stay transparent, but I want to challenge you. I know, especially for us from the African communities, most people consider Africans to be people who are corrupt, but make the difference. Make the difference. Strive to be transparent in your feed. Another one I would like to share is patience. Be patient. Process takes time. If you remind yourself about these core values, for me, sometimes I tell my friend, you don't have to be like me. You don't need to take my core values into consideration, but these are the things that get me to where I am today. When life gets tough, when things I find myself in the dark room, and then I remind myself that success takes time. And I remind myself that I cannot do this alone. So be patient. Another one I would say, I believe in diversity and inclusion. I believe in everyone coming at the table and doing it together. I also believe in hard work. Success is not going to fall from the tree. No. You need to work for it. There will be time that you will cry. There will be time that you will shed tears. There will be time you will doubt yourself. But you need to work hard. You need to have that sleepless night. But I would just like to say work hard or work smart. Yeah. When I say work hard, also work smart. Be creative, but work hard. Be ready for it. And as I conclude with this question, I also want to remind you that failure is part of the journey. I also believe that failure is part of the journey. And taking into consideration that failure is part of the journey, it will help you. It has helped me to stay confident no matter what. No matter how many times I fail, no matter how many times I fall, I stay confident. And when I'm invited to a conference or I'm taking on a new role, I would say to myself, I am here because I'm qualified. You are in that room. You are attending this conference today because you are qualified to be here. Never doubt yourself. No matter how many times you have failed, it's not the end of your journey. Keep that fire burning within you. Stay confident. And alongside my core values that I share, I talk about teamwork. I talk about transparency. I talk about diversity and inclusion. I talk about patience. I talk about hard work. I would also like to encourage you to take careful risks. If you want to be great, if you want to be successful, take careful risks. Sometimes you will not understand your journey. You will not understand your path. You will be given a task that you are speaking today. You know, your boss is telling you that you are speaking today. Do not say, I'm not ready to speak. I cannot do this. No, do not say that. Just say, I'm ready. Take that risk. Take careful risks. And I can tell you at the end of the day, you will be proud of your journey. Sometimes it might not work, but for me, I think out of 100% of my race, I have achieved 75%. Maybe you will be lucky like me. So take careful risks. And as I conclude, I would like to share 2 more points. Respect for others. Respect people. Respect your colleagues. Stay humble. And the most often when I'm introducing myself, I often tell my friends, education is good, but I don't really worry about how many masters I have, how much I have in my bank account. What truly matters is about respecting and serving people. Be a selfless leader. Be humble. And if you serve with all your heart, if you serve willingly, if you are respectful, if you respect others, you will just see success flowing. And sometimes your friends will ask you, what are you dealing with? No, you are just standing by your values. And as I conclude, do not leave this conference without finding a mentor. Having a mentor is key. So alongside my core values, I always run to my mentors. And I believe in my mentors. As I said to myself, my mentors are people, who have been there before. They have walked this path. So for me, I have mentors for many things. I have mentors for academics, professional, and social things. So I believe in my mentors. Like I would just call, what can I do? How can I do this? And then I am guided by my mentor. So I want to challenge you. If you don't have a mentor today, among all of the amazing people that are attending this event, great leaders, find a mentor. And I can tell you that if you stand by these core values or you have your own core values, you will be building a legacy. You will be building a life that you will be proud of. And I don't negotiate my core values. I don't negotiate my standards or my boundaries. I don't do them. Sometimes they become hard, or you need to stand by them because these are the things that will guide you to where you want to be. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Pauline. Thank you. I'm blown. And this is just the beginning of the Rise Up conference. And you are pouring into us. There's no way anyone who is listening will not be inspired, will not be ignited. Thank you so much. Like my notes, I was just writing. Thank you so much. So I will just repeat some things you said, and I was just blown by some things that you shared, and I'm just like, oh, I didn't actually see it this way. A lot of people, when they fail, they don't want to rise up again. But failure is not the end of the journey, but it is a part of the journey. So whatever you're doing, whatever thing you've started, don't give up. Just continue. And it's just so amazing. Thank you so much. You talked about teamwork. You talked about, going along with people. You cannot do it alone. You cannot rise alone. So you always have to go along with people and be transparent, be honest, be truthful. Don't try to, hide things, like Nigerians will say, don't do mago, and, you talked about being patient. It's a process. It takes time. When you want to do something big, even when you want to do something small, it doesn't happen immediately. You have to take small steps to get that big thing. So it's always a process, and you have to be patient. Thank you so much, Pauline. And you talked about diversity and inclusion. Everyone needs to be carried along, from young people to old people to, from the poor to the rich. Everyone needs to be carried along. And you also talked about hard work, but working smart. And we also need to be creative. You cannot be a Gen Z or a millennial or a Gen Alpha and not be creative. You need to rise up and be creative. Thank you so much. Thank you. And you also talked about taking careful risk. Even as we're being told, just start something, start from where you are, start small, but we need to take careful risks, and we need to be ready. When we're given the opportunity, we need to give ourselves to that task. Thank you so much. And we also need to respect others. We also need to, be selfless. We need to be humble. We need to serve willingly. And just like I'm serving willingly here. So, follow these paths that I decided to follow. Thank you so much. And have a mentor. Have different kinds of mentor, academic mentor, work mentor, different kinds of mentor. Thank you so much. So we'll move on to the next question. So the next question says, have there been times when standing by your values came at a cost? And how did you navigate that? So before you answer, the last thing you talked about in answering your core values was standing by your values. You talked about, not living, just maintaining boundaries and not, compromising on your values. And funny enough, the next question is, so have there been times where standing by your values came at a cost, and how were you able to navigate that? Thank you.
I and especially as a Hi, I felt my internet.
Okay, we can hear you.
Can you hear? Okay. And I must be real. And if you follow me on social media, someone who share real life examples and often share my own stories. If you want to be great, and there will be moments where people will question your core values. But for me, I never offer negotiating my core values. I remember a time where I was seated being a young woman, unsteady, very young, but yet in leadership. It came a time where I felt I was not respected, because I told you, as part of my core value, respect. And when I talk about respect, I'm talking about respect for law and policy. When you enter an organization or you enter a school, always ask, chief activist, people of influence, you want to know the policy, you want to know the guidelines, you want to know the law, because you are working to obey that law. I think we have Christians here, for those of us who are Christians or the Bible or Muslims, we have the Quran, we have the Holy Bible, that is guiding us. So at the time I was seated in that position, I will not call the name of the organization, but I felt like I was not respected. I felt that that person was going against the policy, and I needed to speak out. So when I decided to speak out, my workmates, my friends, my colleagues, they were like, no, you don't have to speak out. Just leave silently. You don't have to talk. And I saw other people calling me, people who are having influence or money or power. And they are saying, if you speak against that person, you will be taken to court. And I told them I'm prepared to go to court for the right thing. And I had to speak up. And I did it. I did it alone. I really did it alone. I had to speak out. I could not get support from my friends. I could not get support from people around me because they felt like I was doing too much as a young African girl. Sometimes they will tell you, do not do what the white people are doing. If we are teaching you activism, that does not mean to say you should always speak into everything. Yes, there is time you should know when to speak, how to speak, and where to speak. But I felt like something was not going right. And if you cannot respect me, I cannot do business with you because I have to respect you in as much as you respect me, guided by policy and laws. So I decided to speak out. I resigned and I spoke out. And I just did not just speak. I gave recommendations. I highlighted the problems. And my colleagues were silent. But today, I can tell you that maybe if someone who knows that story on this call, those young people were able to benefit from me because I stood by my core values, and they were impacted just because I stood up and I spoke for the right thing. It was a hard moment, but I could not keep silent. I had no one supporting me. I was at risk. I received threats, but I stayed firm to my values. But something I would like to share, I know we all have different faith and different journey. I even received phone calls and someone told me, you will be wished, you will get sick. But I said that I believe in the God that I serve. And in that time, one of my secrets I did not share, I pray a whole lot on my leadership journey. I put everything to God in prayer. And at the end of the day, everything ended so well. And what I wanted, the young people were respected. We had a dialogue and everything ended so well. But it was very difficult for me to stand up because I saw people begging me to compromise. I said, no. I'm not going to compromise this. I'm going to stand up for what is right. And I did it. And at the end of the day today, I think even from that, after a few years, I gained more respect in the youth community in Liberia, in that organization I was serving because I chose to stand out for what was right.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Pauline. Thank you so much. I wish we had more time. We still have a lot of questions to look at, but thank you so much. Honesty has been something, that has held Africans bound. When we get into boardrooms, when we get into rooms with people from global stages, we try to, compromise on our standards. But you telling us right now, you have told us that we should, hold on to our values, we should stand by our values, and we should not compromise on them. Thank you so much. So because of time, we'll have to move to our next question. So how do you stay authentic when it feels like everyone is shouting to be seen or liked? Right now on social media, if you don't have 100 likes or have 1 million followers, then you haven't started. So, but how do you stay authentic when it feels like everyone is shouting to be seen or liked?
Like I said, take your time, be patient. Real impact is not about noise, it's not about being public. I was speaking with my colleagues recently at the Girls of Alliance, and I said, even though we don't have money to implement certain projects, but we are still going to do our work because to not compete, it comes when you want to compete with people, but to not compete, just have belief in yourself and just set goals for yourself and be real to yourself. That's how you get to understand that am I making impact? Am I making progress? But if you want to start comparing your progress with other people, then you are making mistakes. Just be true to yourself. There are many great people today. You might not see them on social media, or you are starting small. You are posting your work. You are not receiving likes. People are not following you. Keep going, stay committed to your dream. I would like to track back to my own story. When I started as a youth activist in Liberia and I was in this organization, my friends were traveling around. They were going places. They were well known. I was celebrating them. I was committed. I kept on working. We consider those people to be grassroots activists. You feel like people are not seeing your work. But I kept on going. Until a certain point, I started to receive recommendations and people recommending me, we need you to speak. We need you to travel on this event. And I started traveling the world. But it took time. I was like, people are not seeing my progress. People are not seeing my work. But today, see where I am. And I'm still growing in my field. So Real impact is not noisy. It's not public sometimes. Just keep going and believe in yourself. Track your personal progress against the goals that you have set and not against others, sources or what they are achieving. If you do that for yourself, you will realize that I'm making impact. And I want to challenge you before you leave. Set your personal goals, your career goals, your professional goals, or whatever goals you want to set. Just have it like a timeline, set it for yourself and be able to track it every month, every week, and see how far you are going. Like that, you will get to know, like, I'm making impact. But I know it's hard. Sometimes you will cry. People are not seeing my work. People are not calling me. Keep going. Never give up on your journey. Just stay true to yourself and believe in your dream.
Thank you so much, Pauline. You always have so much to pour into us. Thank you. We're grateful. So impact is not about noise. It is really not about noise, and we should not compare ourselves with other people, but we need to stay true to ourselves. So there was a question from the comment section before we move on to our other questions. So it says, how do you navigate conflicts when your teammates refuse to cooperate or work hard? Do you have some tips for an effective and peaceful teamwork? So you can just make it short, please, because of time. Thank you.
Yes, you cannot escape conflicts. You cannot escape conflict. But like I said, whenever you are working somewhere, have guidelines, have policy that you use at your guard. So sometimes people might breach policy. Call this person, have a team meeting and explain to them. Maybe their first mistake, you can ask them. Ask them, how can I help you? You did not perform in this area. You did this. How can I help you? Always be supportive. Criticism, it's not about breaking other people down or making them to lose the job or making them to lose the opportunities. No. When people are not performing well, when people are making mistakes, if you ever work for me, except you are not willing to learn, or you say, I want to go, but I will try my best, and I see like you don't want to learn, you don't want to get this well, then I say, I wish you well, or maybe you can take on another field. But always try to work with your policy, always try to work with your guidelines, and be able to have regular conversation. Help each other, but do not break each other down. You can use that time to give feedback, to support each other. You can teach the person, you can help the person. As long as you are doing those things, you will be able to minimize conflict. And I want to say, I know it's hard, but for me, another thing, try to avoid gossip. If somebody is not doing something right, maybe you can find if the person's supervisor, you can call the person, but you don't have to gossip about that person to your other colleague or to your other friends. No. Be able to solve problems rather than increasing the situation. That's how true leaders behave. You don't have to gossip every day. You want to gossip. That's how conflicts come about. But you'll be able to handle the situation carefully so that you all can grow together. Thank you.
Thank you so much. So as much as possible, thank you. So as much as possible, stay away from conflicts, stay away from gossip, but we can't really, run away from conflicts because there are people who would want to look for your trouble. So, but
yes.
Try as much as possible to, stay away from gossips and make your stand known to people, And I'm sure there'll be someone who has the same values as you do, so walk along with those type of people. Thank you so much. So the next question says, we're running out of time, so if you can keep the responses a bit shorter, but we enjoy listening to you, so thank you. But because of time, what has been your most meaningful or unexpected impact so far, even if it was small?
Oh, that's why I'm here today. I'm just receiving on my Instagram page and saying we wanted to serve as a speaker. I never felt that people are following my work, around the globe. So I felt inspired. I was like, who? I don't want to talk more, but just being here today, I think it's the smallest impact that came as a surprise to me. And like I said, just keep doing your work. People are following you. And then I receive feedback from people on my social media page. Oh, I'm inspired by your work. I'm inspired by your message. So I think those are smallest things that really make me happy, and I never felt that I was doing so much. Thank you.
Okay, thank you so much for your response. Thank you. So whatever you're doing, just put it out there, put it on social media. Even if you feel like people are not seeing you, even if your likes are not up there, don't worry, people are looking, people are watching. Thank you so much. So the next question says, we often see highlights, but what challenge almost made you give up?
All right, and once my major challenges, I think one of them is financial limitation, and one of them is financial limitation, and I see that is something that most of us are faced with today. But the good news is that I never allow it to hold me back. Money or not, I'm going. I remind myself that I'm the author of my story, and I stay committed to my dream. So I would like to give you two quick examples. When we started the Girls of Alliance, I never had money, but I remind myself that I'm the author of my story. I'm committed to this dream. I will not keep silent. So yes, in the midst of financial struggle, financial limitations, do not keep silent. I share my story with people, and I spoke with my friends that we want to fund this organization. And today we have the Girls of Alliance. And when it comes to academic, I had a dream, and I said to myself, I listed schools that I wanted to attend. And, on my listing, I had my schools, public health institutions. And then one of them, I had the University of London, but I never had money. And one day, my dad asked me when I graduated with my first degree, my dad said, are you not running after scholarships for you to go to school? And I told my dad, I'm not doing my master's in Liberia. I don't have the money, but I'm going to attend a very prestigious university of my dream. I never had money, and I just used my computer. I applied for the scholarship, and in February of this year, I graduated with my master from the University of London. I often tell my friends, even if I never had computer, if I never had internet, I was going to ask someone, can you please help me with your computer? Can you please get me internet? I want to apply for this scholarship. So there will always be challenges, but never keep silent. Keep pushing. Believe in yourself. Once you believe in yourself and you stay focused and you are putting in the work, you will get to where you want to be, and your dreams will become reality. And like me today, my dreams are gradually becoming reality. I did so many things in life without having money, not having rich parents, not from rich background, but I just believe in myself, and I keep sharing my stories. Don't be afraid to share your stories or your plan. I know in Africa, they often tell us, or around the world, people will steal your vision. You are the owner of your vision. No one is going to take it from you, because you don't know the person that you are sharing will just be the one, that will help you kickstart that dream or help you get to where you want to be. So never keep silent. Even if you don't have money, keep asking, keep sharing your story until you get to where you want to be. Thank you.
Can you hear me?
Yes, I'm hearing you, please.
Okay, so thank you so much. Thank you so much, Pauline. So you said your challenge was money?
Yes. Financial
whatever
limitation.
constraints you have, always speak up. Don't be silent. Tell people about your cause. Tell people about what you want to do, and you don't know where your success.
Thank you so much, Miss Pauline, for sharing with us. So we have a couple of questions from the comment section. So we'll just be asking one or two questions before we round up this session.
Thank you. Thank you.
Okay, so we have a question here. In finding mentors, Miss Pauline, please, how do you reach out to people you admire, especially if you don't know them personally? Because you mentioned something that we all need a mentor. So how do you reach out to people that you admire when you don't know them personally?
There are many ways that you can get to them. Sometimes some people take people to be their mentors. Maybe you read their books, or you read their books. Some of them are having audios, but introduce yourself, write the person, introduce yourself. If you can find them via social media, if you can get their emails, introduce yourself, let them know what you need from them. Most often do not ask for money, you just need mentorship. Mentorship is different from maybe financial sponsorship. just introduce yourself and tell them what you want. Sometimes I must be real. I have experienced it as a young person. Some of them will not reply you. Yeah, because they also have basic schedules or they are having so many messages, or you might not get to talk to them. They might not reply you. But maybe it's me, you want me to be your mentor, you cannot get to me directly. Maybe you can find another person in the similar field you can reach out. And I just want to say something. Sometimes when we are looking for mentors, we often go outside, we go far away. When we have mentors in our homes, in our communities, we have mentors just around us. So also when you are finding your mentors, try to look, be smart, look around you. Yes, you can look for people out there as well, but it's difficult to get them. If they are having books, read their books. If they are having talk shows, listen to their talk shows. But just in case you cannot get them, you can reach out to other people to be your mentors. And I believe that you still achieve your dream.
Okay, thank you so much, Pauline. I think we'll be rounding up this session at this moment. I want to say a very big thank you to Ms. Chizoba Kama for moderating this session. And then also a big thank you to Pauline for sharing from your wealth of experience. We appreciate you. So I have a couple questions for you, Dr. Chineku Ore. She said something about not negotiating your core values. So I want to ask you, has there ever been a point during your time as the founder of the Healthy African Girl Foundation where you had a very promising opportunity that made you almost negotiate your core values?
Well, I'd say that I've passed up on opportunities that would have had a negative influence on my core values, if I might put it that way. And because I was very clear about what I stand for, I think it was easy for me to make the decision to let go of those opportunities. So I think the most important thing is to be very sure of what you stand for regardless. And having a system of accountability helps you in those seasons where you might want to compromise. So it's not just about you having your values, but also communicating your values clearly to the people around you, because that helps you to stay accountable. Because in those times that you might be tempted to compromise, your accountability system will also help to keep you in check. So yes, those opportunities have come, but thankfully we've been able to overcome.
Wow, that is amazing. Thank you very much. She said something that is not just about having your values, it's about communicating your values to people around you, having an accountability system, so that at the time when you want to compromise, those people that you have around you will help to keep you in check. They will help to keep you accountable. Thank you so much, Dr. Chineku Ore. And thank you, Ms. Pauline Gartor, for sharing with us. And thank you, Ms. Chizoba Kama, for moderating this session.